I'm Myochi.
And I am Renee, and we are the 40 Spot. Please welcome back. If you're new, we welcome you here. Um, on this podcast, we talk about the highs and lows and everything in between of being 40 years old. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video, tag us, email us at the40spot@gmail.com. And wherever you listen to your podcast, also follow us. Make sure that you rate us.
Yes.
And yes, and Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Yeah, so today that is what we're talking about. 2024 Happy New Year. We've been gone for a while, relaxing, rejuvenating, getting ready to take on this new year. So we decided to come back and start out our conversation about how we brought in the new year and also what is the plans for the new year personally and with the podcast. So Renee, where
Yeah,
you want to start? Well, first we can start where we got these lovely hats.
absolutely. In the fabulous Hot Alonso.
Yes, yes, yes.
Um, it was great. On our last show, we was talking about that was the last show of 2023, and we briefly talked about we was going to be together. We definitely thought that we was going to go live just a little smidgen and stuff. I think I did go live like while we was just kind of like out, but not like officially. I was going through some things, y'all. Um, but we shall get into it. Like not what I was going through, but how it all ended up turning
Oh,
out.
child. Renee had more drinks than I did that night.
And I do not drink, so we didn't know what that was gonna be like. So since
Wait, hold on. I need to back up a little bit because I brought the alcohol because I planned to get her to drink. I drank. It's New Year's. We were staying in the hotel. What's the name of the event? It's the and
NYE in ATL.
yes, NYE and ATL. And the thing about this place that we went, it was sentimental for us because we have actually done this event. At least this is what our fourth time doing it.
I want to say, yeah,
Yeah,
I
like
believe
even
it
when I was
is.
in Nashville, we came up here and party in 2011. Oh, 11 as
11. Oh, 11.
and we've come a few times. So this is our fourth time doing this event. So it was very nostalgic in that way. They do a comedy show. They have a lot of different music rooms. So it was a nice vibe, and you can actually stay in the hotel. They have a lot of things that they offer. Midnight breakfast, all that stuff. But anyway, so I brought the alcohol. I'm like, it's New Year's. We're gonna do a little razzle dazzle. Honey, can I say that all of a sudden I had somebody handing me a glass in the room, and I was like, "This for me?" She's like, "Yes." I was like, "Okay, you pouring me drinks? Okay." I didn't even finish my drink, and she was coming to pour some more. I was like, "Wait, what is going on?" She's like, "I'm going through some things." I'm like, "Well, we going through some things together. Let's go."
Well, let's back it up. So, I was already in Atlanta. Prior to that Thursday, I had arrived in Atlanta from South Carolina. So, we was in at Christmas, we was in South Carolina. So once I'm getting ready to go, and I was like, "You've eaten or whatever," and then you was like, "Yeah, you had stopped to get something to eat." And I said, "Oh well, I'm gonna just reroute. Let me give me something to drink. Let me go to Panera to get one of those charged lemonades
And
and
luckily
stuff."
you did because they don't even sell.
Right. And then it was like, "Oh, right across the street is a Chipotle." So I remember I'm getting off this one exit, and then I already know that she got the drinks and stuff. And I was just like, "So what you got?" And then she was just like, she had some juice, some libations for the celebration. And I was like, "Girl, we finna be turned up. We
Had
finna
that
get drunk."
Hennessy,
And then
like anything can happen type
she
deal.
said, "Well, what is this?" She was like, "I ain't know nothing about this." I said, "Look, I'm going through some stuff." And he was like, "Okay, well, I'm here for it." So, we get there to the room. people there coming in and stuff, but we still have like plenty enough time before we like need to get ready. But really, time we got into the room, we should have been trying to get ready because anybody who know Myochi and I, we gonna take a minute. But perfection takes time.
But
It
also,
takes.
I want to say, I don't want to add. Okay, I can be kind of slow, but Renee, oh,
It's not that I be slow, like I be doing stuff, but then
you have a
also,
lot of stuff to do, and not in a bad way. But she like takes her time and gets things together. Now makeup gonna be flawless. Me on the other hand, like you could throw some lashes on. Oh, they don't come on. That's fine. I'm gonna go about my business, honey. Not Renee. She looked amazing, but we almost missed the last comedy show.
yeah, we almost did, but thank God we did it. And also we up there. What else? I'm listening to because she brought her little independent speaker and stuff like that, so we can listen to music. So then I'm up there playing King George. I am going it, through it. And I was like, I'm calling everybody. I'm cussing them out. I'm doing all this other kind of stuff. So first song that start playing and go keep on rolling. So it's just like, all right, this is what it's gonna be. And then Yosha was just like, I didn't know all this was gonna be. I was like, girl, it's the new year. Not that it's the new, because I said I hate that new year, new me. I said no, it's gonna be the same me. They couldn't handle the old me, so I'm gonna give them another year. Give everybody another year to get get used to me. Ain't no need for me to change. It's like it's absolutely zero reason. So I'm up there. I'm singing on all of the keys, and I appreciate you just let me sing my little heart out. Because when you have a person who can sing, and then a person who can't sing, you start singing. It's like, when is this song gonna be over? But she knew I was going through some stuff. So, girl, I love you.
I'll allow it.
So, like the
I mean,
first
I don't hate on people. Y'all sing with the song in your heart. Now sometimes the keys, but Renee was fine. She was enjoying her little self, and I was learning new music. Felt like I was in a ballroom back somewhere in South Carolina. Had
look,
a
but
great time in the room. To
we
be
had the
honest,
songs to go with the brown liquor music, and it
it,
was like,
it really did. And to be honest, yeah, because it was like we talked about it later. We were actually was having a lot of fun, and I could have stayed there, but also it's like we have paid our money. We have got to scoot on out of here.
yeah, yeah. Actually, that was like you needed to have. We probably should have been there. I don't know. Well, check-in time wasn't until like 3 or 4 o'clock anyway, so
Mm-hmm.
it was an extremely late check-in time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure because they have all these people that's coming in from literally all over the U.S. So we was just there, and it's just like, oh, it just could have just been a couple of hours, like before you even just start doing anything. Like, let's just feel the music, feel the vibe, whatever, like that. And it's like, all right, girl, this is what it's gonna be. It's like I ain't worried about nothing. And of course, like, and it was so crazy because Miyoshi, I had to pack for 2 weeks. But well, almost 2 weeks because I had went to South Carolina several days before Christmas, so get through Christmas, and then I'm there. So I have all these different things, and we should just bring like this is an overnight bag, but I'm packing in my carry-on luggage. Like I was like, you didn't bring nothing else. We're like, nope. It's like
I had a
okay.
I had an outfit and a possible.
Yeah, I was look, that was a new one because I can't pack small. Excuse me, for whatever reason, because it's like I don't know what was gonna happen, and that I think we talked about that in one of the shows prior, like when going out there to Vegas. It was like you don't never know, you might end up at a ballroom. You got to have something for that. What about not just the weather? What if it's rain? What I don't know what the occasion could arise. I need to be prepared for all the above.
Well, for
So
this particular thing for me, because I was already here, and it was just a night for me. So I knew once we got to the hotel, that was a wrap, right? So I'm like, I'm at the hotel. the weather could change. The weather inside's not going to change. But I was
Right.
prepared for other things. You know what I'm saying? I came with the libations, made sure we had enough to keep the party going, and we did.
Yes. Yes. So she had Crown and the white Hennessy. And if
Yes.
people not familiar with that, a lot of people they get that off of cruise ships because they don't just readily sell it in the United States.
Yes. That one I didn't get off a cruise ship. One of my coworkers is from the Bahamas, and he actually sent it to me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he sent it to me. I can't remember why. Graduation, something like that, because he sent me that in some room, and so that's why I actually had it. But yeah, it was a great time. Also came prepared with our what 12 grapes.
Yes.
I'm not sure how many people have heard about this. This year was my first time hearing about this thing where it's a Latino tradition. I think is it Colombian? I don't
Well,
know.
some type of Hispanic
Yeah.
in that diaspora. We don't know what country,
So
but
what
it
you
is a
do,
Hispanic thing.
correct. And what you do is at midnight you eat 12 grapes, and each grape is for the month and the year, and it's supposed to bring
Okay.
you good luck.
All
Now
right.
you're supposed to, if you looking to get into a relationship, a good relationship, like the relationship, right? You're supposed to
Okay.
get under a table. Couldn't find a good table to get under. So we're just hoping, I'm hoping that it works out because at midnight, everybody like, woo, and I'm like,
We out there with Ziploc bags.
listen, you have to be prepared. Nobody not gonna stop my year from being great, honey. Whatever I need to do. Put a
Yes.
little razzle dazzle, sprinkle, sprinkle.
But it was so crazy. And then like she got the big grapes, the big red grapes that had seeds in them. So
Because we
you
want
know,
natural blessings.
right. So I'm biting half of them out. And I'm by this time probably like everybody they toasted or whatever like that. And I'm biting half of them, I'm taking the seeds out. I know, you know, spitting these seeds. I got a handful of seeds, and it was just like, you know what? Screw this. People they done drop their drinks. God only knows what's up on these people's feet or whatever like that. It's a grape seed.
I ate my
So
seeds.
I ate. You ate the seed,
I did. I want
girl.
everything. I want all that I just said. I wanted all the manifestation. I ate the whole grape. Yes,
I
absolutely.
didn't know you was gonna eat the whole
Yes,
seeds and
I ate the
everything.
whole grape. I did. I'm crunching.
Was it because you was litty or
No,
what was? Oh, okay.
yeah, I didn't want to spit them out. I just was like, yeah, I'm gonna eat all of them. Listen, if it worked, I want to make sure I get all of it. I don't want to miss a drop. Okay, so
All right. Well, I didn't.
all I'm gonna say is I got approved to take my exam this month. So woo! I don't know. I don't
We
know.
looking for A's. We looking for
I don't know
A's.
if it was the hoodoo or it was the fact that I applied. But I've been waiting. I will say though, I have been waiting for my approval since last April. So
Oh
it
my gosh, that's a long time.
I mean, it started off a little bit with me because I may or may have not marked that I was a citizen and I'm not a citizen. So that was part of that. And then
Okay.
there's a form that I had to get my supervisor to correct. So it's just been an ordeal, but it's been approved. So I'm on to my next phase with being fully licensed. So very excited.
All right. Well, then that is great. So big
Every
ups
month,
to
I'm
you.
gonna be marking off what good happened in the month. I'll report.
Exactly.
I'll let you
Exactly.
guys know.
So by the time we get down there, and this event for a lot of people w- years ago in 2011 was like, oh girl, we would love to go to one of these grown people events where you get dressed up, evening gown wear, champagne toast, balloon drop, like seriously 100% Hollywood. I don't even know how these people they was able to find their way into our emails, but and this thing,
Google,
boom, we
Google
gone.
been listening to Google been listening to us talk. That's what that
Yeah,
is.
truthfully, that's
We
probably how it
talked
is. It's
about it
like,
for some weeks, and then got an email about an event in Atlanta, everything we were talking about we wanted to do. And this was in March
Yes.
of 11. Y'all could, yeah.
And then that particular year
Well,
that we went, it was, I think, New Year's fell on a Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, because I think we went down on that Thursday because it was like the whole weekend, and it was like the day after we still party.
yeah, because they had more than one party.
Yes.
I think so. It was either Friday or Saturday. Mm.
Yeah. So, but we had a great time. I remember one year we went, and me and Myochi, we danced so much. The next day, we
Feet
could not walk.
burning. That had to be the second year we went because I can remember
Yes.
exactly what I wore the first year. I remember that year too.
Okay, so what did you wear the first year? Because
The
you
first
know,
year, I wore this black dress that was kind of like, it was short, like above my knee, and then this part was sheer, but it was like a semi-formal dress type situation.
okay,
And then the year I'm talking about, I had like this black little mini skirt. It was cute, honey. And this halter, it wasn't a halter. It
it
was
was
a
a boost.
uh
Yeah,
yes, it was a not a halter, yeah, like a bustier, however you say that.
yeah. It was
Sequence.
you shot sequence.
It was
You know, I
I was
love rhinestone sequence, so I was here for
yeah,
it.
I was cute, honey. I was cute, and we danced the night
Oh my
away.
god,
I
it
never forget
was
the
so
next
good.
day. We were walking like this.
Yes, 'cause the next
We heard
day
that.
I wore like this gray dress. I think the
Mhm.
first year that we went, I wore like that gold dress was kind of draped or whatever like that. And it was so crazy because when I had saw the dress, not buying it for this particular event, I had
Mhm.
just bought the dress because it was like, oh, this is cute, but oh my God, it's too big. Like literally, it was too big. Honey, I filled that dress out and eventually outgrew the dress. Or them little people that coming in and just kept making it smaller and smaller. I don't know what happened. But it was over with for that dress. But yeah, we end up going. And one year we went and we invited someone else to come with us. Um that was an interesting year. That was an
That was
interesting.
interesting in the party, but I will say the party is always great. If you ever
Oh
looking for
yes.
New Year's Eve, something to do for New Year's Eve, either single or couple, it is a great event. Either way, they have had it. I think they may have missed last. No, they did last year, and they may have missed the year before.
Due to
But
COVID. They did 2020, but maybe not 2021.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's always a great event. And it feels good to be around a whole bunch of people just excited about the new year. Yeah, and you're just having a great time in a safe space. You don't have to worry about people drinking and driving, that whole situation. If you choose to stay at the hotel, you don't have to. But
Right.
it's a great event. It's not an ad. Honestly, I would probably go every year if there's not something else to do.
Yes, and every year it has grown. That is one thing because that year that we invited someone to come with us, we ended up we stayed at the overflow hotel and they had shuttles running every 6 or 7 minutes. And that
Mm.
we just packed on there. And I mean, just the coordination of everything. And we was at the Crown Plaza this year. So it was a great time. So you have like your main ballroom area, and then you have like a room that's doing like Afro beats. You have another room with like Caribbean, a room with like old school hip hops, like the
Mhm.
90s, 2000s. You have R&B. So it is something for everyone.
It really, really is.
And you just go.
And it's a great way to bring in a new year with
Hmm.
excitement, with joy, with just a lot of hope and gratitude also for the previous year. It's just a great way to bring in the new year and to kind of like usher in and focus in on, to me, your goals, right? You have something that's a specific time and they're like, yep, this marks this event.
Mhm.
how am I going to move moving forward? So I guess Renee, now that's my question for you. What are some of your goals for 2024? I did hear, baby, you get this is saying New Year saying me. So tell us
Yes.
more.
Yes. Of course, like when we had Kyle Gumby on, definitely want to lose some weight, tighten up, um, and just make some overall lifestyle adjustments. So as I journey through this fourth decade of my life, on into the fifth and sixth and so on, um, that I am eating cleaner, eating better, making more health conscientious um, uh, choices,
Mhm.
and how they're going to affect me long term. So I definitely want to do that. Also, I want to do like a 7-day water fast. You and I, we was on the phone talking about
Yeah.
this one day because I had seen like one of those little shorts. And then I went to go to the doctor's page on YouTube where he's an actual practicing physician, but he also teaches. I don't want to mess up where he teaches at, but he teaches uh, at a medical school as well. So for the geeks and stuff, such as myself, it went into a lot of the biochemistry, the actual physiology of it.
Good.
And, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking about, okay, this is the spiritual component of it as well. So I definitely want to be able to do a 7-day water fast. That's all I'm doing. Just drinking water. And for some reason, I just keep seeing like if I get through the 7 days, which I watch other people and they said like after day 3, you're kind of okay. You don't have all these, insatiable hunger, desire, and stuff like that. And it's something just keep telling me that I'm going to be able to exceed past that 7 days.
Okay.
So I want to be able to do that. I also um just improve the relationship with me and my son. Because I tell you, some days in here, it's like, oh, my mom, she definitely she was the buffer. Not that we was at each other, but now since it's just like, if
It's
I
you.
want to talk, it's like it's you. You want to talk, it's me. It was like, okay, it's different other stuff, that, and he's supposed to be graduating in May. With a welding degree. So I'm looking forward to that. Saving money.
Mhm.
Um, just and I want to, for someone who loves to talk, communicate. I even prior to my mother passing, I had kind of dropped the ball um communicating with some people and just keeping in touch and just let me send that text. Let me,
Yeah.
so I'm trying to be more conscientious of if someone comes across my mind, send them a text if I can do it. It's like, hey, how you doing? What's going on? And everything. Just keeping in touch. So those are those things
Yeah.
that and I, as always, get out of more debt.
Yes.
Um, so I have 3 student loans that I know that I can have them paid off, within a couple of months. So I look forward to that. Not all of them, not the big one, not the one that's the cost of a house, not that one, but the other ones is like, yeah, I can definitely see it's just like paid in full, paid in full, paid in full. So
Well,
definitely
I
want
ain't gonna say what I be saying about my student loans because this is a recorded conversation. I don't want it to be held against me. But
I can imagine
I
what
mean,
it
who
is.
knows what I say about my student loans? About I'm just happy that I was able to go to school. Um, but one of my biggest things this year is again passing my board exam. I know passing my Georgia board exam will be such a relief for me because it'll be one less thing, and then I'm like just more into my career, and I'll be able to build from that. And the biggest thing for me right now is building for my future and
Mhm.
figuring out what that actually means for me. And
Okay.
I feel like I'm also in that process of what does that mean for me. So figuring that out and moving in that way.
Okay.
Um, so that's like financially, health wise. Like I want to, I don't know, I'll be 43 this year. So in 20 years, where would I want to be at 63? Now is the time to build towards that. I don't want to be thinking about that when I'm 60 or when I'm 53. Like I really need to be taking that serious. So just figuring out what that looks like, you know.
Okay.
I know I've talked to you about this, but like I haven't started. I did start my journey with homesteading and the idea of getting information, figuring out my first steps, but um I'm getting really excited about learning how to grow food and having land and acreage and possibly be having a small farm and really just again, what do I want my life to look like 20 years from now? And
Hmm.
right now is where you start figuring that out. I mean, you really could do it before now, but all I have is now. I don't have in
Right.
the past. So so learning a lot more about homesteading and what it is that I can do to be self-sustainable.
Hmm.
I think that's very important for everyone. I could get on a soapbox about that, but I won't today. So I have that, and just yeah. So homesteading, growing my business, being healthy, just focusing really about the types of food that I'm putting in my body to make it body, and making sure I'm getting enough movement. That's where my bigger focus is when it comes to wellness. That's a really hard piece for me because I know we've talked about it before. I have tried just about everything to lose weight. And I, the thing about it is wellness is not just weight loss. Like you have to be
Right.
healthy and figuring out for me what that looks like is like again I'm in the figure out stage. I'm in the process. I'm in the building stages of what does this look like for me, because I know what that may
Hmm.
look like for you or other people, but what does it look like for me? How does that feel for me? And if I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, here are the steps. So I'm there. I hope as people say, Q2, so quarter two, in the second quarter of the year, I have an answer to that, right? Like, what do I want my world to look like? So that way I can start
Hmm.
making plans and decisions to move in that way. So
Okay.
that's really that. I know it's very general, but that's my main focus, right? It's
Yeah.
like if this is not gonna serve 63-year-old Miyoshi, yeah, and it doesn't mean you don't have fun. It doesn't mean you don't splurge, because what serves 63-year-old Miyoshi is 43-year-old Miyoshi having a good time and having fun, right? Like enjoying life. But so yeah, just thinking about my life in terms of later.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely. And I think we all need to do those things. And if you are approaching 40 or beyond that decade of 40, really at any point in time, 20, in your 20s, you're still trying to figure out who you
Life.
are. But, um, because you got to give people some kind of leeway because you
And let
have
me
to have some experience and stuff. But you got to think about what decisions do I make today? How are they going to affect me later on? And I don't know if you remember this book you and I had read by TD Jakes, and it was like before I do, and we thinking like, oh, this is the precursor before you get
right.
married or whatever, and it wasn't about that. It was about decisions. And I remember in that first chapter, it said he was talking about some things that he was doing. He was like, he cannot afford to make a mistake that's going to set him back 10 or 15 years. And he talked about how sometimes a decision that you make today is a great decision until like year 12. Then it's like, oh, this was not it. This was not the good thing. And so I think that's what we all need to be doing. Like, how is this going to be a good decision 10 years from now? If it goes left, how far is it going to set me back? And at this point, I don't need to be making no decision that's going to set me back one day.
Yeah,
let
and I
alone
think
years.
and a lot of it is about intentionality, right? Like we can't
Mm.
tell the future. So I don't know if every decision I make is going to pan out wonderful by the time I'm 63. However, being intentional in making those decisions, like, yeah, so you actually getting out and getting a walk and making sure you're getting all your vegetables and making sure you're getting good vitamins and not just these vitamins that you pee out, that 9 times out of 10 is going to turn out really well for 63-year-old Myochi, right? But
Yeah.
it's intentionality in the idea of, yeah, I may not know how it's all going to turn out, but not just making a decision because someone else said, oh, this is what I'm doing, or someone else said, this is a good decision. Being intentional about your decisions. But also, and this is I think the part that holds a lot of people back, um, releasing the fear of making the wrong decision,
Mm.
because there is that fear of like, well, what if this doesn't work out well? My position is, as long as I have been intentional and I've weighed all my options and I made the best decision that I knew to make.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
the tools and the resources and the knowledge that you have.
So even things that are mistakes, it's okay to make a mistake. You know, I feel like they're learning tools. Some of them gonna hurt. Some of them gonna make you sick to your stomach. You might lay in bed like, oh my god, whoa! I done had them. But you have to kind of find yourself on the other side of it and say, okay, what can I learn from this and move on? Because as long as I have breath in my body, I
Mhm.
there's tomorrow. Things can get better. So I'm not giving up.
Yes, absolutely. And that's the thing. Don't give up. Because last year we did, you know what came up on my timeline where it was like change ain't change until you change. That was like our episode number two.
Three? Oh, yeah.
Episode number two, because actually everyone, this is going into our third year.
Yes.
So us 3 years old. So our first episode was who are we? Like it was just an introduction of who we were, how long we had been friends, kind of what we was doing in our life, what to kind of expect from the podcast. And the second one, because the second show, which was still in January, um, instead of doing like, oh, happy new year, whatever, like that, it was just kind of like change ain't change until you change. And so we did. And then last year it wasn't about resolutions, like what is your new year's resolution. It was just like, okay, what can you do at this time? And then we did like a mid-year check-in, like, hey, what's up, people, where you at? We haven't forgot about you, and
Yeah,
stuff like that. And we do know, although the year goes by fast, it's still a lot that can happen in 365 days.
absolutely.
So some things kind of get thwarted and
They get
whatnot.
what?
Thwarted.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I did use the word right.
I don't even know what word it is.
I think that's supposed to be like, it got sidetracked.
I'm not saying it's wrong. I just didn't never hear the word. I didn't
Oh,
never know.
really? Girl, let's
Authority?
Google this thing up. Yes.
No, I have to Google it. Look,
Because
look,
I
you know,
couldn't even say it something like,
I love using what they say, big words or whatever. No, but authority. I'm about to use that.
yeah. So, but we got to try to sit up there and try to make sure that we definitely did use that word. Like, one, it's a word. I'm gonna say this. Sometimes it may not be a real word, but you have heard this word
Mm-hmm.
plenty of times. But if not, it's new word for the vocabulary, as my brother used to always say. Like, look, this is how you get different, urban dictionaries. Like, I don't know, but guess what? It went in there. So, yes. So I want to ask you this because
Mm-hmm.
now we're almost to the end of January.
Okay.
This is an election year. People, start your research now.
Yes.
Not just on the presidential election. There is a lot of seats that's always up for grabs.
The local
And
elections, those are the
your
ones. I'm not saying the presidential don't matter because it does, but your
but
local
your local election, that's gonna affect your
and
household.
you're gonna feel that quicker than you feel that in the
Yes.
White House.
if you have children, if you don't have children, you know people who got kids, your neighbor and them got kids. Find out what's going on with those education boards and stuff, because these book bans is crazy. So do you I don't know if you heard this. And then my question was like, what's some of the crazy stuff that you already heard now, almost being 30 days in to the new year? One of the things like scholastic books that used to have the book fairs and stuff like that. So, now everything is digital, right? So they said when you go in, and I seen this on national news, where they will filter out books that they say is I don't know what the word, but basically like they could be a banned book if
Mm-hmm.
they have a minority character in it,
Mm-hmm.
even just a black character,
Right.
which is not good because you have black authors,
Mm-hmm.
which chances are they're going to be writing about black people,
Black
black.
stories. Correct.
Yes, and that's to say these are not these are children books,
Mm-hmm.
so these are going to be the books that's from kindergarten through 12th grade that have these scholastic books, and that it's already preset to not even show any of the books that have minority characters in the books, or on the front cover they have they could have a lot of different array of people in different hues, but if they have my color, your color, it get filtered out.
They're not
So
gonna have different hues. They're gonna have all white, pink skin.
exactly.
Any
So
minority. I have a question for this. Are you saying that you won't be able to deselect it to find these
you
books?
can deselect it, but like when you go onto the Scholastic website, or whenever they do these book fairs and stuff, you have to purposely go in the settings and like deselect it,
Mm-hmm.
that so that you can see these inclusive books,
Mm-hmm.
because otherwise it's just filtering all of that out. But then also a lot of these things they saying that they're book banned books, and I went on to this list of books one day. I worked third shift just down a rabbit hole, like, oh, okay, what is these banned books? It's been like several months ago. I think like when Florida Governor DeSantis was starting like all these book bans, and all these moms, I don't know if they even have kids or whatever. And I went on looking up books, and then they had like books that are banned in prisons, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some of the books, I'm like, why would they be banned in the prisons? Like some of the books I did not know, but I'm talking about it was hundreds of pages.
Well, I'm sure anything that's self help, they don't want any of the prisoners to read that. So God forbid you feel inspired.
A lot of stuff was people biographies.
Mm-hmm.
Um or if the person was alive and they wrote their own autobiography,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just, I guess it was their story with certain different things they did not want. um And so when you look at some of these books that they're trying to say, like, hey, we got to get these books out of the schools and stuff, some of these books that you know, they were books I remember reading during the summer, that was part of summer reading that I needed before I went into the ninth grade, 10th, whatever grade. And it's a reason that you have to read these books at this level so that you can start your critical thinking and stuff. And it's like these kids, they are going to struggle when they get into college.
So here's the thing though, they don't want children to think critically.
Okay.
They want people to grow up because look at the generation. What are they? Generation Z? I don't know
Yeah.
this that
I think
whole thing, but the young
it's
adults now
alpha.
in their teens and young 20s, because they are critical thinkers, they are challenging. Um, they're challenging parents. They're challenging government. They're challenging systems, and not every
Mhm.
system that I necessarily agree with or I'm for. But they, and because that is because they're critical thinkers. Their
Okay.
methods, everybody may not agree with, but they're still thinking critically because what they're saying is, well, if you did this and you did this, how is this possible? And so they don't want, that is exactly what they don't want. They want to be able to give you information, give our children information, and they want them to go out into the world and just follow the pattern, follow what they have given. And I think that's a big piece of being self-sustainable going into that, even with education, the liberation of our minds and our bodies and
Mm,
our thought process. They don't want us to be liberated in no way, shape, or form.
yeah.
Um, there was something else that I wanted to say that I completely forgot. I just lost it. But yes, I think yeah, that's intentional. With that, this is what I want to say. I can't think of the wildest thing I've heard in 2024 so far. But one of the best things that I spent my 3 hours doing, I think it was January 4th, was watching the Cat Williams interview with
Oh
Shannon.
yes.
And I'm bringing this up because, yes, he talked about other comedians, but honestly, that was a small section of what
Very
he was
small.
talking about. And I can remember when I saw it, I was like, I'm not about to watch this. But also, I'm staying up all night and I'm going to watch this, even though I'm super tired. But one thing he said, just going back to what you said, he said, winners cannot allow losers to rewrite history. And that is
Mm,
what they're trying to do. They want to rewrite history. They want to only have those things that they agree with, those lessons, those ideas. They want those to be readily available, so that children are not critical thinkers. Because if you don't learn how to critically think when you're a child, as you grow and you develop, you're not gonna know how to do it when you get older.
yeah.
That's
It-
exactly what they want. Yeah, so yeah, that was a not trying to side journey to that, but that was one thing that sticks with me. But that he said that it's like, yeah, the winners cannot allow losers to rewrite history.
Absolutely. And I mean, it kind of goes back to when we initially had the Civil War and it was banned talking about generals of the Confederate and everything. And then you've seen a reinsurgence of them in the 50s and 60s at when the civil rights movement was taking more of a national toll. Then you start seeing them put up all of these um
These
loser statues and
exactly, like, why
naming schools
actual
after,
war
like,
battles of you that you lost?
if you didn't know, you would
This
have thought
level
they
of
won. You did If you
seriously.
did not know, you would think that they had won.
And they
But
and they actually frame it in a way that if you don't actually know the full story, people do believe that they won. And it's like, actually, no.
yes,
And it is a wild concept. And I think what we have to remember is there's nothing new under the sun,
no,
nothing at all. What that was happening in the 60s, here we are, 2024. They're doing the same thing. Why would they do anything new? They're just going to do it in a different way because it's a different time. And we have to be open, our eyes have to be open to it. I said this before, and we talked about doing a show about I don't know if for y'all, if y'all watched the movie Leave the World Behind, and that
oh
becomes a
yeah,
big conversation about being prepared for everything, right?
anything. The
Um,
fall, the
yeah,
fall.
right.
Hmm.
But and it's not it can be scary, but I don't think being prepared is about being scared. I think being prepared is about being able to be liberated and being able to be self-sustainable, because if you are not prepared, you have to follow whatever is said.
As I say, in times of peace, prepare for war. That is all military and stuff, believe that, because it's like, hey, if you're already in a fight, that ain't the time to learn how to fight,
Like,
so it's
you gotta learn.
exactly. So it's like, if you want to be able to farm, grow stuff, whatever, and find other different ways to grow stuff, even if it's in pots in your house. Now a lot of places they're just doing just water, because I don't know if, like, some people, they know, you can snip like a piece of whatever and just stick it in water and it will grow roots and stuff, and it will grow. So you don't always have to have soil for certain things you do.
And
So
I think that is a lesson going into 2024. You don't
what?
always have to have soil. You don't always have to have this one key ingredient. So if there are things that we have goals,
Yeah,
don't get caught in, well, I don't have this.
yeah,
I need to have this. Now there's certain things that's like, I mean, you might need that degree to know how, if you want to be a phlebotomist, you might have to get that certification. So I'm not talking about that.
yeah,
But don't get stuck in the what you don't have, because just like the plants, there's other ways to grow. And so I think that's a big thing walking into this new year. Like, don't get stuck in what you don't have. Look at what you have. One of my favorite things is like, what do you have in your hands to do? I don't know where I heard that saying, but it's like, you look at your hand. What do I have in my hands? Because that is what is tangible. That is
right.
what is real. That is not talking about, well, next week somebody gonna give me $100. Nah. What do you have in your hands right now to do, and use that? Don't get stuck in the well, I still need to get this piece together.
Yes, and when you look at overall, I forget who had that saying where it's like, the people who succeeded actually did something. So you're never going to be ready. Like, you just have to get started. That's the main thing. Get started, because if you wait to get ready, it ain't gonna happen. You're gonna wait around for a lot of other stuff to happen, a lot of nothing to happen. So that was, and speaking of civil war, one of the crazy things, like what's happening down there at the border, there is as they say, a peaceful caravan of 700,000 cars, trucks, bikers, and everything that is going down into the border to help Texas. And there's 37 states that stand with Texas to help secure the borders. Now, I will say this, it's a problem going on down there because people are coming over, you know, tens of thousands of people daily. Something needs to be happening. But my whole thing is, it's just like, if you go into war, until you get to the battlefield, yeah, it's peaceful. Because I'm like, you think them 700,000 people, they ain't strapped up?
I was going to say, never in my life have I heard of a peaceful protest of 700,000 people as a protest. Also,
And they're driving down to the Mexico Texas border. That
well,
is what.
I think when they get there, though, it's going to be interesting that all they're going to find is themselves.
But you know what? This is the. I will say this. One thing in all of this, they have not said anything as to what Mexico's government is saying about that. Because one thing, with the United States, northern and southern, we have the most peaceful borders of a lot of other countries compared to other countries around the world. Um, so it's going to be interesting, but at the same time, you have all those people that's going down there. They ain't going down there just to lock arms and you cannot pass. That is not what. Mm-mm.
Mexico gonna be ready for them. I mean, because that's a whole nother conversation.
I
Because
know, but as
you
I say,
can't say
crazy
that
stuff that's
all these
already
people coming through the
happened.
border. No, all these people are not coming through the border from there. People are coming through all of our borders, the whole other
Yeah.
way, and they don't look Hispanic. They don't look Mexican.
No, a lot of people, they get the visas, the proper documentation, and they fly in and they just don't leave.
And
That's majority of the people. They are not walking. But when they do, but still, when you do see that number of people that is walking, it still kind of makes me wonder, like, what is they showing down there on the television or saying on the radio where people like, pack it up, we finna go.
well, I mean, the reality is people don't leave their homes unless there's a reason. People are
True.
leaving their homes because they're trying to protect themselves. They're not just like, oh, I want to get to America. Yes, but why, right? Like, they're not just trying to leave. If they had peace, if they had peace of mind, if they had certain things that they needed for their family, they would stay there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, because America's not that great. Some like, well, maybe leave, child, listen. whole nother topic for a whole nother day. So people are not just coming to America because America's like, oh, America has proven itself to be a third world country with a Gucci belt. We have rolling power. We have places
Ooh.
that don't have water. I mean, if that don't sound like a third world country, I don't know what
Or
is.
you have unsafe drinking water.
That's what
I mean, look
I'm
at
saying. There's people with dirty water. We don't have we don't have universal health care for people. Like third world country with a Gucci belt. And I will say that I'm grateful for some of the liberties that I have. So I know I'm saying it from a place of privilege in that way. But the reality is that people are not coming here because oh my God, America. No, they're coming here because they're fleeing something, whatever that thing is. They're trying to get away from something. You know, um, yep. So that's a whole other soapbox, whole other show.
yeah. But that was just some of the crazy that has already happened. And I mean, we could be on here for like the next 10 years just talking about
Yeah.
everything that is going on in the last almost 1 month.
But we
So
are definitely looking forward to a great year this year with the podcast.
that
Um,
was gonna be my question. So let's tell the viewers, or let's try to see what we're gonna do.
but we can
One
talk.
thing we're gonna do, we're gonna be posting, we gotta get our algorithm up and
Yeah, but I think
we,
that's a conversation for another time.
yeah.
Not right now.
No, but I'm just saying, like different things that we definitely want to do with the podcast. More consistent with our posting. Trying to get our viewership up, get people in a part of this community, and also us getting out into the community of doing different things. And one of the platforms that we use to stream, they've added Instagram on it, so that we can stream in 4 different places. So they have other tools that we plan on going through, looking for those things, just to be able to get to more people, because everybody do not follow us consistently on every platform, because everybody do not have Facebook or Instagram, but they may do YouTube
Right.
or one or the other. So we definitely want to do that.
I will
um
say if you guys have any show ideas, any just a small topic that we may can grow from, because like Renee said, that we really want to grow our community in a way. And I know I'm using this word a lot tonight, but wanting to be more intentional. Like the goal of this is not for us to just come on and chit chat and like, yeah, I mean, of course we chit chat, but we want to talk about things that are important to grow us as individuals and to grow our community. So we have our own ideas, but it's our own perspective. So if you guys have any good show ideas or things you want to learn more about or that you're passionate about and want to come on the show, please email us at the40spot@gmail.com with any good show ideas. You can DM us on any social media at the 40 spot. We really want to be intentional about the things that we're doing this year. It is really about being 40 and the growth and the progression and the development in that. And we want to make sure that we are staying true to that goal. And so for our viewers, if there are things that you want to learn, again, just please learn, talk about, or even be on the show, email us at the40spot@gmail.com.
If not, as my shirt say, follow us at the 40 spot, the number 40. Um, Everywhere on social media. Also, that is how you find us, wherever you find listen to your podcast at. Also, I know that some of our viewers, they may have different talents and they want us to help. As I say, are you makeup artists? Maybe people who have online periodicals and they want to do uh a piece on us, because we have been featured in The Voyage and what was Atlanta, oh Lord, something, I forget. But we do have those. So sorry. I just look, it happened when you get up in your 40s, you know exactly, you can see it, but it doesn't matter if I can see it in my head. But those type of things. So, and other podcasts, we want to bring you some more good people, good content, and everything for this year. And
Yes.
And happy New Year, not New Year's. That drive me crazy. But yes, now we come to this time where we want to celebrate what is happening in your life, birthdays, job promotion, just whatever it is. As we say, we definitely want to celebrate Myochi. We want to wish her happy studying so that
Oh,
when she's
thank
set for
you.
the board, you can take that test and you can pass it.
One
Pass
time, one
it.
time.
One
One
time. That's it.
time.
One time. And so I ain't gonna take it there but one time. Not because I ain't gonna want to take it no more, because I do not have to. You
Hello,
take it
amen.
one time and that's it. I do have a birthday, my cousin Teresa. Her birthday is actually on tomorrow, or it might be today. I am so sorry.
Happy birthday,
But
Lisa.
yes, yes. As I say, that's my cousin who I definitely look much like. I also have another cousin, Brody. His birthday was this month. I want to wish him a very happy birthday. Um, so that's the only two things that I have that I can think of off the top of my head right now.
Well, I have two birthdays. My good
Okay.
friend Casey and our faithful follower Fernette. Both of their birthdays are January 31st.
Okay.
So
Happy
yes,
birthday.
happy birthday. My baby brother's birthday was January 10th. So happy belated birthday, Jonathan. Jonathan is now 30, honey.
Oh my
30.
God.
I can't take it.
Oh my
I can't
God.
handle it. Huh.
Oh my God. That just that blows my mind. Like I remember him when he was 10, 10 years
Listen,
old.
like I said,
Like
this train gonna keep on rolling. The time just
it
keep
do not
on
stop.
rolling. But guys, if you have anything to celebrate, again, email us, DM us, let us know. We want to celebrate you. We want to celebrate your family. We want to celebrate life. We just want to be here together, enjoying life together. For this,
Yes.
happy birthday, all the January babies.
Yes. Oh, and I forgot one.
Okay.
Brianna is gonna kill me. Brianna, she's one of our A1 day ones. Her son birthday is in January. I always forget his birthday. She was like, "How can you do it? You was right there in the delivery room. You was helping me, girl." I was trying to watch that memory because I was like, "That's the first time I ever seen a baby be born." I
Oh
don't know
wow.
why people faint. I just know you up right, and next thing you know, your hips is on the ground. Like I'm just like I always forget. But happy birthday, Keldon. This is his 20th
Oh, happy
birthday.
birthday,
So
Kel.
he halfway there. He halfway to 40.
Yes.
So we want to wish him as he go into his second decade of his life, much, success, and just let the world just be at his fingertips for whatever he has that he wants to do. So
Well, guys,
that's our
again,
time.
happy New Year.
Yes.
We are super happy to be back with you, to be back on program. We'll be back talking about some good things in a couple of weeks. But in the meantime, have a wonderful week.
Yes.
But in the meantime, please remember, if it costs you your peace, it is too expensive. Have a wonderful week.
Bye bye.